Hi everyone, I am Amrit and today I'll walk you through a step-by-step roadmap to start your career in DevOps. Even if you are starting from scratch, so you'll be getting to understand how to move to DevOps or how to get enrolled into the DevOps platform engineer and how to learn the various basics of the DevOps. So what is DevOps? So let's first understand what DevOps is. So DevOps is all about automating and integrating the process both between the software development and various ID teams. So basically, you can say DevOps is a combination of development plus operations. So both of the teams are merged and the bridge is created, where both of the team as well as the company gets the benefits of each of the teams. So it's more of kind of a culture where we have the culture of blameless culture, and we have more and more about automation and how to collaborate closely with between different teams so that we can achieve the final goal, that is the delivery of the project should be faster. Now the focus here is more and more into automation, collaboration, speed and reliability. Again, it is like the bridging the gap between the developers and various other teams, which includes IT team and then testing team, operation team and various other teams. So why DevOps is in demand? So the major important focus of this is like it every company is moving nowadays more and more towards the cloud, because they don't want to maintain the servers and they can achieve the scalability and all the resources, whatever the software they need they can get from the cloud instead of purchasing the license uh, and procuring the hardwares and all of the stuffs. It also helps to deploy faster, and it provides a competitive advantage to all the companies where they can directly build their applications on the cloud. And the other most important thing, which is again the career growth is very high here. You get a very decent amount of pay, and this is very much in demand. And you can see the roadmap here, how you can learn or get into DevOps. So we'll get all these things into detail in the upcoming lectures. So first is before moving to DevOps or starting with DevOps, you should know the basics well and clear about Linux, because Linux is the like composed of all the major servers in the world over are mainly into Linux. So you should like basics should be very clear in Linux, and you can start with any of the Linux or Unix servers, which is like Ubuntu, Red Hat, etc. So you should know the basic file commands, permissions, processors, etc., etc. And then again, once you are done with this thing, so you should know how to automate the commands or how to automate the steps which are required by various teams or even for your team. So you should know more about scripting, how to automate the processes, how to automate using the shell script, which may be Bash, Bon or any other shell. And then you should know one programming language, which can be Python, Go, etc. of your choice. So this will help you in automation of all the tasks which will be coming as part of the DevOps engineers. So the basic part which covers here is again automation and understanding the logics, how to build the logics with the help of programming or scripting, and writing the scripts to automate the stuff. And then the other part is understanding network and security. So this is the most important part. So once you are done with the Linux, at least the basics, I would say, but you should try to have more and more advanced level skills over the Linux, because it is the basics for everything in DevOps or the IT world. So after that, once you are done with scripting and programming, you should go and learn more about networking in Linux, or if you are more into Windows, there is also again networking. So you should know all the basics of what is the IPv4, IPv6, what is subnetting, VPC, DNS, firewall, etc., etc. So you should learn all the Linux commands as well as the networking and the security part related to your servers. Then comes the major part, which is version control. So version control nowadays, like most of the companies are into Git, so you can go with Git, and it will take around a day or two for you to learn the basics. So you should know how to initialize the repository, clone the repository, commit it, push it, even maintain the GitHub repository for your organization. So you should also know branching, merging, etc. So these things you can cover within 2 days or 3 days easily. Then the next is learning to how to do the server management. So basically, you'll be whenever you are working with DevOps, you'll get to know a lot of servers, which may be your database servers, Again, database can have SQL, NoSQL. Then you will be handling the NGINX or the Apache, which is the web server. So those are basically used for proxy, reverse proxy. So these all things you should be familiar, and you can start understanding by running the basic software, and seeing how these things work, and then understanding on these parts, because most of the time you'll be spending troubleshooting around these things in the DevOps world. Then the next is CI/CD tool. Now CI/CD is continuous integration and continuous deployment. So where nowadays GitLab is the most preferred tool, you can say, or GitHub Action or Circle CI. But the previous generation, you can say, Jenkins is still around the world. So maybe you can go with GitLab and Jenkins. So this is basically used for creating the pipelines or helping the developers creating the full flow, which is again downloading the source code from the repository version control tool, which is Git, GitHub, etc., and then compiling it, building it, and then running the test cases, packaging it, and deploying it to the respective servers. So all those things should be automated with the help of pipelines. So you should have an understanding and knowledge of this tool, GitHub Actions, GitHub, and then GitLab or Jenkins. Then the another requirement is at least you should uh, have little bit knowledge on any one cloud. At least you should be an expert, and others you can have like medium or beginner level knowledge. That should be fine, because if you have a knowledge of, or you are an expertise in one cloud, you can easily manage the other clouds. And these are the various services which I have mentioned, which may be important. But there are various other services, but these are very basic, and every company does use these services. Then is the infrastructure as code part. Again, whatever things you do over the server, like deployment or managing the servers or provisioning the services over the cloud or the infrastructure over the cloud. So those things obviously you should not be doing manually. So for doing it in an automated fashion, there is a infrastructure as code tool. So basically, there are a lot of tools available in the market, but basically you can go with Terraform, which is based on HCL language, and it supports all the cloud providers. So whatever things you do manually or provision the services manually over the cloud, you can do or automate with the help of Terraform. Similarly, there are various other tools, but I'm just listing only the Terraform part. Again, Ansible is there, Chef is there. There are a lot of other tools which can be used for configuration management. So if you want to deploy to 100 servers, maybe which are available over on-prem, so you can choose Ansible as the way to go, which will deploy all the 100 servers together at a time. Then comes the other part, which is observability and monitoring. So once you are doing done with all those things, you should also be knowing how to create your dashboards, how to monitor the things whatever you have set up. Your website is up, down, so you should be having a way to get an alert for all those stuffs and monitor the services or the website, whatever you have for your application. Then the next is software engineering practice. So these things you'll learn with experience, or you can just read some books or maybe some online forums. So this will not take much time. 2 to 3 days should be fine. Like what is agile and why agile is preferred nowadays, and earlier we used to have the waterfall model. So you can just understand the theoretical part, and whenever you work with the team, you will see all those things into action. Then you should learn more about incident detection, response, and whenever there is an incident in your website or in your company, how do you handle those things. So you should be knowing about all those practices which are followed. And the bonus tips are like whenever you have done or mastered all these things, basically you should create a GitHub profile or any online profile with your version control repository, and you should practice the projects online. There are tons of projects available, and you should definitely practice by registering to the cloud with the minimum resources, and you should create the projects there, which helps to get visibility for the recruiters, like whatever projects you have worked, and they can understand like, okay, he already have this kind, or he or she already have this kind of experiences and maybe suitable for us. Then you can join a lot of open source communities, as well as the open source or DevOps communities, which will help you keep updated and with the knowledge, as the world is changing each and every day. So you'll be updated with the help of communities. And again, in the case of DevOps, like every day, today, tomorrow, every day, like there is some new tool or trend which are being there, so we need to be updated and update ourselves with all those stuff. So all these things, whatever we discussed, is there in the roadmap. And basically if you are starting from beginning, it may be very very overwhelming and difficult because you have to learn a lot of things. So if you are a beginner, maybe you should start with Linux and then some kind of scripting. So you should just exactly follow the roadmap. So if you are a beginner, I would say it would take around at least minimum 3 months, and it can go to 6 months. So it again depends on your and the capacity and how much time you can spend per day. So it's not to dishearten you or discourage you, but DevOps is a very difficult to follow because it has too many things to learn. But if you have patience and everything, so you can just follow these steps consistently day by day. You can just learn more and more, and one day you'll be achieving all those things. But if you are from different teams, like if you're maybe from Linux team or maybe SRE, so you may have already learned about some of the steps. So you can upgrade your knowledge with the other things which or tools, services which you are not aware, and slowly you can shift to DevOps. So this is the roadmap we will follow. Don't worry if you are just a beginner, just follow these steps consistently and slowly, and you'll be there on your part to achieve the goal, which is to again be a DevOps engineer. Okay, so now you can start with Linux basics. So these all tutorials are available with the link and description. I'll share over the YouTube video. So in the description, you can find the links or learn basics with Linux. I have this course for available for free. So if you really like it, do like, subscribe, and always share to your peers, colleagues, and friends. Then I also have course on GitLab as well as Jenkins for CI/CD, which will help you in the DevOps journey. So you can consider purchasing the course over my Udemy. And also I have others on DevSecOps and other various advanced ones. But I do also include Docker basics with Kubernetes basics. So you can also consider to purchase this course. So some of my courses like DevSecOps as well as Docker is selected for Udemy Business as well. So you can understand how high the quality is and what all things you can learn from this. So all other things, like there are small topics over my YouTube which you can consider to join and learn from the videos. Otherwise, there are also a lot of open source tutorials, or you can say a lot of videos are available over internet, YouTube, as well as a GitHub repo you can see, and you can learn by yourself. So this is just a guide. I'll just share all the links over my description. You can like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much.